जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय अद्वैत चंद्र जय गौर नित्यानंद जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद चंद्र जय गौर नित्यानंद ज्ञानतिमिरस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा तदा मह्यं ददाति स्म तदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं सागरजातं सहगण रघुनाथं सजीवं साद्वैतं साधुतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण प्रदान सहगण श्री विशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा नमस्ते भक्त कांचन गौरांगे राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 श्री संगीत वाली भक्ति श्री गिरिराज नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्ण विष्णुवितये श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी पंक्ति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदेवं Hare Krishna. So we are continuing our reading in Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 13, the advent of Lord Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we are on text 43. So previously we read about how Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was exhibiting his real nature as Krishna in the mood for Srimati Radharani. So his confidential associates were helping him, assisting him in relishing the mood of Srimati Radharani by reading from books like books of Vidyapati, Jayadev, and Chandidas. So now we are in text 43. Krishnera viyoge yata prema cheshtika ashvadiya purna kela apana vanchita. In separation from Krishna, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu relished all these ecstatic activities, and thus he fulfilled his own desires. Beginning of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that Lord Chaitanya appeared in order to taste the feelings Radharani felt upon seeing Krishna. Krishna himself couldn't understand the ecstatic feelings of Radharani towards him, and therefore he desired to accept the role of Radharani and thereby taste these feelings. Lord Chaitanya is Krishna with the feelings of Radharani. In other words, he is a combination of Radha and Krishna. It is therefore said, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahe Anya. By worshipping Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu alone, one can relish the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna together. One should therefore try to understand Radha Krishna not directly, but through Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. and through his devotees. Shri Narottam Das Thakur therefore says, Rupa Raghunatha Pade Haibe Akriti Kabe Habe Bhujabha Se Yugala Piriti. When shall I develop a mentality of service towards Shri Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, and the other devotees of Lord Chaitanya, and thus become eligible to understand the pasam of Shri Radha and Krishna? So this is, I hope we are all paying attention to this now. This is a different section altogether. The real nature of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So in the beginning of Chaitanya Charitamrita, a lot of discussion has been about his movement, his mission, his preaching. Now this section here is speaking about himself, who he actually is. So he came to, as a side effect of his appearance, is to give Harinam. But now, this is who he actually is. All right, Indira Radha, you can read.
I have a question, if you don't mind. Srila Prabhupada says Krishna himself could not understand the ecstatic feelings of Radharani Dausai. Krishna is Antaryami, right? He knows all our feelings. How could he not understand?
Antaryami means, super soul in this material world, Antaryami. That in rasa, he is not Antaryami, right? In rasa, he's Radha and Krishna separate. Antaryami, this belongs to relationship in this material world. This is rasa.
Right? Mataji, I also heard that where in Golok and all that, this Parakya Ras is not there. It is only on this material planet. And to enjoy that Ras as a part of his this entire adventure, like he is, one is the love of a devotee to step in their footstep and understand their love. The other is enjoying that Parakya Bhav, which is not there in Vaikuntha or in Golok, which is only available here. And to enjoy that also. This is what I have heard and I have read also, but where I have read, I'm not able to give.
Actually, we read in Chaitanya Charitamrita itself about how Parakya Ras is in one section of Vraj, in Goloka Vrindavan, in Vraj. So I don't know from where they get this information that it's not there. Parakya is, that's the original, right? So it's in one special section of Vraj, of Goloka. Goloka is unlimited, and one section is called Vrajabhumi. In Vrajabhumi, there is this Parakya Bhav. So this special rasa, Parakya Bhav, is available in Vraja. We read it in Chaitanya Charitamrita. No, I don't know which chapter now. We are on, okay, so this is chapter 8 to 17. So the previous volume, we have read about it. And we discussed it quite at length also. So it's there. That's the speciality of Braj, where there is Parakya Ras. It's not there in the whole of Guru. Right, so Devahuti, since you're speaking, just read. Text 24. Read. Devahuti.
Text 44. Ananta Chaitanya Lila Shudra Jiva Hana Ke Varnite Pore Taha Vistara Korea. The translation. The pastimes of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are unlimited. How much can a small living entity elaborate about those transcendental pastimes? Text 45. Sutra kori gone jodi apone ananto, sahasra bodone teno nahi paye anto. If Sheshnag Ananta personally were to make the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya into sutras, even with his thousands of mouths, there is no possibility that he could find their limit. Text 46. Damodara Swarupa ar Gupata Murari Mukhya Mukhya Leela Sutre Likhiye che Bichari. Translation. Devotees like Sri Swarup Damodar and Murari Gupta have recorded all the principal pastimes of Lord Chaitanya in the form of notes after deliberate consideration. Text 47. Shei Anushare Likhi Leela Sutra Gana Vistari Varanaye Chena Taha Dasha Vrindavana. Translation. The notes kept by Sri Swarup Damodar and Murari Gupta are the basis of this book. Following those notes, I write of all the pastimes of the Lord. The notes have been described elaborately by Vrindavan Das Thakur. Text 48. Chaitanya Leela Bhashya Dasha Vrindavano Madhura Koriya Leela Korila Rochano. Translation. Sri Vrindavan Das Thakur, the authorized writer of the pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, is as good as Sri Vyasadev. He has described the pastimes in such a way as to make them sweeter and sweeter. Text 49. Grantha Vistara Bhaya Chadila Je Je Stana Shei Shei Stane Kichu Koriba Vyakhana. Being afraid of his book becoming too voluminous, he left some places without vivid descriptions. I shall try to fill those places as far as possible.
Yes, Shashi, you want to read?
Mataji, book is not in Bombay, it is in Jaipur.
Okay, Anupama, you want to read?
Hey Krishna. Text 50. Prabhura lilamrita teno kaile aswadana tanra bhukta shesha kichu kariye Charavana. The transcendental pastimes of Lord Chaitanya have actually been relished by Srila Vrindavan Das Thakur. I am simply trying to chew the remnants of food left by him. Text 51. Adi Leela Sutra Likhi Shuna Bhakta Gana Sankshepe Likhe Samyak Nayaka Likhana. My dear devotees of Lord Chaitanya, let me now write a synopsis of the Adi Leela. I write of these pastimes in brief because it is not possible to describe them in full. Text 52. Konavancha Purana Lagi Vrajendra Kumara Avatirna Haite Mane Karila Vichara. To fulfill a particular desire within his mind, Lord Krishna, Vrajendra Kumar, decided to descend to this planet after mature contemplation. Text 53. Age avatarila ye guru parivara sankshepe kahiye kaha na yaya vesatara. Lord Krishna therefore first allowed his family of superiors to descend to the earth. I shall try to describe them in brief because it is not possible to describe them fully. Text 54-55. Shri Shachi Jagannatha Shri Madhava Puri Keshava Bharati Ara Shri Ishwara Puri Advaitacharya Ara Pandita Srivasa Acharyatna Vidyanidhi Thakur Haridasa. Lord Krishna, before appearing as Lord Chaitanya, requested these devotees to precede him. Shri Shachidevi, Jagannatha Mishra, Madhavendra Puri, Keshav Bharti, Ishwar Puri, Advaitacharya, Srivas Pandita, Acharyatna, Vidyanidhi, and Thakur Haridas. Text 56. Shri Hatta Nivasi Shri Upendra Mishra Nama Vaishnava Pandita Dhani Sadguna Pradhana. There were also Sri Upendra Mishra, a resident of the district of Sri Hatta. He was a great devotee of Lord Vishnu, a learned scholar, a rich man, and a reservoir of all good qualities. Purport. Upendra Mishra is described in the Gaur Ganodesh Deepika 35 as the Gopala named Parajanya, the same personality who was formerly the grandfather of Lord Krishna appeared as Upendra Mishra at Sri Hatta and begot 7 sons. He was a resident of Dhaka Dakshin Gram in the district of Sri Hatta. There are still many residents of that part of the country who introduce themselves as belonging to the Mishra family of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yes, so this is a little history, right? This is a little history. So they are where the Dhaka, Dakshina, Sri Hatta, and he appeared at Sri Hatta. He was a resident of Dhaka, Dakshin Gram, in the village of Sri Hatta. There are still many residents of that part of the country who introduce themselves as belonging to the Mishra family of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But this is not so far away. It's only 5 generations ago, right? It's only 5 generations. Like Advaita Acharya, everyone, 5, 6 generations ago, away.
Mataji, Madhavapuri and Madhavacharya is same thing, same person.
Where is it written?
I'm asking Mataji, Madhav.
No, Madhavendra Puri is different from Madhavacharya.
Oh, okay, Mataji.
Madhavacharya, he founded this Udupi, the Gaudiya Mat, not Gaudiya, Madhavacharya Mat, right? In Udupi. This is the Sampradaya. And Madhavendra Puri appeared in his Sampradaya. And then that's how Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is connected to the Madhavacharya Sampradaya. But because he has his own flavor, so it's called Gaudiya Madhava Sampradaya. Madhavendra Puri is a different personality. Yeah, so like saying that how Lord Krishna appeared as his grandfather. Lord Krishna's grandfather appeared as Upendra Mishra, etc., etc. Actually, this is something that happened regularly, even among us, right? Right? We say, like our generation, they come again. That it's not just we don't part, right? The families, they come back again and again in different ways, right? They come back as your grandfather or grandmother or your cousins, right? Your neighbors, everybody come together. So same principle here. So Krishna, when he's coming, so he's coming with the same family members. Yeah. Okay. Who wants to read? Indira, you are ready? Indira Radha, text 57.
Sorry about that. I didn't hear your answer to that question.
Which question?
No, I said he's Antaryami. How could he not know?
Oh, no, I said that Antaryami applies to the material world, isn't it? The super soul comes with a jiva, but rasa is different. Rasa, it's the mood. Rasa is different, completely different. It's relationship. It's sometimes Krishna doesn't know, right? Just like even when he came to Yudhishthir, he suddenly got off his chariot and he was walking towards the other part in the battle of Kurukshetra. He was walking and Krishna said, what is he doing? Right? What is he doing? So Yudhishthir was going towards Bhishmadev. He wanted to take the blessing of Bhishmadev or Dronacharya before he starts the war. Krishna, what is he doing? He got off his chariot. It's time to start the war. And he just suddenly got off his chariot, right? It's called rasa. Krishna doesn't know everything. So here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna, he's not able to figure out that love that Srimati Radharani has for him. He can't figure it out. So he has himself to be in that position. What is the position of Krishna? Krishna is the soul and joy, and everybody's running after him, right? So he said, okay, now let me become a gopi and let me run towards Krishna. Then I'll be able to understand how they are feeling, right? We say that all the time to other people, right? How can you know what I'm feeling, right? You can't understand how I'm feeling. We say it all the time. Right?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Text 57 to 58. Shaptamishra Putra Shaptarishwara Kamsari Paramananda Padmanabha Sarveshwara Jagannatha Janardana Trailokyanatha Nadiyati Gangavasha Kaila Jagannatha. Upendra Mishra had 7 sons who were all saintly and most influential. Kamashari, Paramananda, Padmanabha, Sarveshwara, Jagannath, Janardhan, and Trilokanath. Jagannath Mishra, the 5th son, decided to reside on the bank of the Ganges at Nadia. Jagannath Mishravara, Padavi Purandara, Nanda Vasudeva Rupa, Sadguna Sagara. Jagannath Mishra was designated as Purandara, exactly like Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva. He was an ocean of all good qualities. Tanrapatni Sachimnam Pativrata Sadi Yanrapita Nilambara Nama Chakravarti. His wife, Srimati Sachidevi, was a chaste woman, highly devoted to her husband. Sachidevi's father's name was Nilambara, and his surname was Chakravarti. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes in his Anubhasya in the Gaura Ganodesha Dipika 104, it is mentioned that Nilambar Chakravarti was formerly Gargamuni. Some of the family descendants of Nilambara Chakravarti still live in the village of the name Makduba in the district of Faridpur in Bangladesh. His nephew was Jagannath Chakravarti, also known as Mamu Thakur, who became a disciple of Pandit Goswami and stayed at Jagannath Puri as the priest of Tota Gopinath. Nilambara Chakravarti lived at Navadip in the neighborhood of Belapukuriya. This fact is mentioned in the book Prema Vilas. Because he lived near a house of Kazi, the Kazi was also considered one of the maternal uncles of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Kazi used to address Nilambar Chakravarti as Kaka, or uncle. One cannot separate the residence of the Kazi from Vaman Pukura because the tomb of the Kazi is still existing there. Formerly, the place was known as Vela Pukuria, and now it is called Vaman Pukura. This has been ascertained by archaeological evidence. Radha Deshe Janmila Thakura Nityananda Gangadasha Pandita Gupta Murari Mukunda. In Radhadesh, the part of Bengal where the Ganges is not visible, Nityananda Prabhu, Gangadas Pandit, Murari Gupta, and Mukunda Trooper. Here, Radha Desh refers to the village of the name Ekachakra in the district of Birbhum, next to Burdwan. After the Burdwan railway station, there is another branch line, which is called the Loop Line of the Eastern Railway, and there is a railway station of the name Malagapur. 8 miles east of this railway station, Ekachakra village is still situated. Ekachakra village extends north and south for an area of about 8 miles. Other villages, namely Virachandrapura and Virbhadpura, are situated within the area of the village of Ekachakra. In honor of the holy name of Virbhad Goswami, these places are renowned as Virchandrapur and Virbhadpur. In the Bengali year 1331 AD 1924, a thunderbolt struck the temple of Ekachakra ground. Therefore, the temple is now in a broken state because there were no such accidents in that quarter. Within the temple, there is a deity of Sri Krishna established by Sri Nityananda Prabhu. The name of the deity is Bankima Rai or Banka Rai. On Bankima Rai's right hand is a deity of Janava, and on his left side is Srimati Radharani. The priest of the temple described that Lord Nityananda Prabhu entered within the body of Bankima Rai, and that the deity of Janava Mata was therefore later placed on the right side of Bankima Rai. Afterwards, many other deities were installed within the temple. On another throne within the temple are deities of Muralidhar and Radha Madhava. On another throne are deities of Manomohan, Vrindavan Chandra, and Gaur Nidai. But Bankima Rai is the deity originally installed by Nityananda Prabhu. On the eastern side of the temple is a ghat known as Kadamba Khandi on the bank of a river called the Yamuna, and it is said that the deity of Bankima Rai was floating in the water, and Lord Nityananda Prabhu picked him up and then installed him in the temple. Thereafter, in a place known as Bhadrapur, in the village of Virchandrapura, about half a mile west, in a place underneath a neem tree, Srimati Radharani was found. Right. For this reason, the Radharani of Bankima Rai was known as Bhaddapure Thakurani, the mistress of Bhaddapur. On another throne, on the right side of Bankima Rai, is the deity of Yogamaya. Now the temple and the temple corridor rest on a high lift, and on a concrete structure in front of the temple is a kirtan hall. It is also said that on the northern side of the temple there was a deity of Lord Shiva named Pandishwara, and that the father of Nityananda Prabhu, Hadai Pandit, used to worship that deity. At present, however, the Bandishwar deity is missing, and in his place a Jagannath Swami deity has been installed. Lord Nityananda Prabhu did not factually construct any temple. The temple was constructed at the time of Veerbhadra Prabhu. In the Bengali year 1298 AD 1891, a brahmachari of the name Shivananda Swami repaired the temple, for it had become dilapidated. In this temple, there is an arrangement to offer food to the deity on the basis of 17 seers, about 34 pounds of rice and necessary vegetables. The present priestly order of the temple belongs to the family of Gopijana Vallabhananda, one of the branches of Nityananda Prabhu. There is a land settlement in the name of the temple, and income from this land finances the expenditures for the temple. There are three parties of priestly Goswamis who take charge of the temple management, one after another. A few steps from the temple is a place known as Vishramatala, where it is said that Nityananda Prabhu, in his childhood, used to enjoy sporting with his boyfriend by enacting the Ras Lila and various other pastimes of Vrindavan. Near the temple is a place named Amalitala, Imlital, which is so named because of a big tamarind tree there. According to a party named the Nedadi Sampradaya, Veerbhadra Prabhu, with the assistance of 1200 Neda Buddhist monks, dug a great lake of the name Shweta Ganga. Outside of the temple are tombs of the Goswamis, and there is a small river known as the Modeshwara, which is called the water of Yamuna. Within half a mile from this small river is the birthplace of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. It appears that there was a big kirtan hall in front of the temple, but later it became dilapidated. It is now covered by banyan trees. Later on, a temple was constructed within which Gaur Nityananda deities are existing. The temple was constructed by the late Prasanna Kumar Karaparma. A tablet was installed in his memory in the Bengali year 1323 AD 1916 in the month of Vaishakha, April to May. The place where Nityananda Prabhu appeared is called Garbhavash. There is an allotment of about 43 bighas, 14 acres of land, to continue the worship in a temple there. The Maharaj of Dina Japur donated 20 bighas of land, about 6.5 acres. In this connection, it is said that near the place known as Garbhavash, Hadai Pandit conducted a primary school. The priests of this place listed in a genealogical table were as follows: Sri Raghavachandra, Jagadananda Das, Krishna Das, Nityananda Das, Ramadas, Rajamohan Das, Kanai Das, Gora Das, Shivananda Das, and Haridas. Krishna Das belonged to the Chidiya Kunja at Vrindavan. The date of his disappearance is Krishna Janmashtami. Chidiya Kunja is a place now managed by the Goswamis of Shringar Ghat in Vrindavan. They are also known as belonging to the Nityananda family, most probably on the basis of their relationship with Krishnadas. Near Garbhava is a place called Bakulata, where Sri Nityananda Prabhu and his boyfriends used to take part in sporting activities known as Jhala Japeta. There is a Bakula tree there that is wonderful because all its branches and sub-branches look like the hoods of serpents. it has been suggested that by the desire of Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Anantadev manifested himself in that way. The tree is very old. It is said that formerly it had two trunks, but later on, when the playmates of Nityananda Prabhu felt inconvenient in jumping from the branches on one trunk to the others to those of the other, Nityananda Prabhu by his mercy merged the two trunks into one. Another place nearby is named Gada. It is said that Lord Nityananda Prabhu brought all the holy places there. Therefore, the people in the surrounding villages go there instead of to the Ganges to take bath. It is named Hantu Gada because Srila Nityananda Prabhu used to perform the Dadi Chidda festival of distributing chiprai with yogurt prasadam there. And he took the prasadam kneeling down. A sanctified lake in this place is always full of water throughout the year. A great fair is held there during Gottashtami. And there is another big fair on the birthday of Sri Nityananda Prabhu. In the Gaura Ganosha Tipika 58 to 63, it is described that Hala Yudha, Baldev, Vishwaru, and Sankarshan appeared as Nityananda Avadu. Hari Hari. My God, so much information in there. Facts.
Okay, how many of you have been to Ek Chakradham?
I think I have been, yeah. But, passing,
All right.
I
So next time you go
don't,
to, so next
yeah.
time Mayapur. Okay, I've been to all these places many times.
Wow.
So yes, so Subhag Maharaj used to take us one place after the other, and one place he explained each and every pastime. And this deity of Bankim Rai also. So Ek Chakradham. So everything is there, whatever Prabhupada has described. Everything is there, but now I'm getting more information because I hear and I forget. But now Prabhupada has given so much information and I'm remembering the different places. I think there's a place also where the five Pandavas, yes, the five Pandavas were also in that area. That's where that Rakshas was eating, one person was supposed to be eaten by one Rakshas. So Bhim said, then Kunti Devi said, oh, don't worry, I will send my son Bhim. Right? So that's also in Ek Chakradham. Pandavas, they were also in that area.
Hidimba.
Hmm?
Hidimba, the name of that Rakshas. One day, one cart of food and one person from the family.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also. So that's why when we go on pilgrimage, we should go properly. We should join, devotees who are taking us around and telling us the history. No sightseeing, walking and running. So it takes a whole day actually. Whole day to take darshan. And when we were going at that time, there was no guest house. Now they have built a nice, beautiful temple. And but we loved it. The prasad when we go there. That was like the highlight of going to Mayapur, go to Lake Chakradham, and they will sit us down and do the prasad. Can you imagine that Bengali prasad? And
That chip rice and dahi?
no, the full meal. The full
The
meal,
full prasad. Yeah.
the lunch. They will serve us lunch.
Oh.
So at least 20
Yeah.
years, at least 20 years I've been going to Chakradham. And then I could no longer take the journey. It's 3 hours, 4 hours, maybe more than 4 hours. up and down in 8 hours.
Mm.
So now they have a guest house, but we've been there many times. And so please, next time, if you're planning, you should go properly. Amrita Radhe, have you been to Ek Chakra Dham?
No, Mataji, I was just lamenting that I have not been to
No.
Ek Chakra Dham.
So we're Mayapur and Ek Chakra Dham, they are next to each other, right? 4 5 hours. So where we heard it is
Radha Dev.
Desh. So Radha Desh refers to the village of the name Ek Chakra in the district of Birbhum next to Burwan. After the Burwan railway station, there is another branch line which is called the Loop Line of the Eastern Railway. And there is a railway station of the name Malarapur. 8 miles east of this railway station, Ek Chakra village is still situated. Ek Chakra village extends north and south an area of about 8 miles. Other villages, namely Virachandrapur and Virabhadrapur, are situated within the area of the village of Ek Chakra. In honor of the holy name of Virabhadra Goswami, these places are renowned as Virachandrapur or Virabhadrapur. I mean, definitely read this all over again so that I can remember. I'm missing going there. So now I know how to go. I just have to read Adi Lila, chapter 13, text 61. Radha Desh is referring to Ek Chakra Dham. Just see, that's why I say, I've heard so much, but I've forgotten everything. I know about Radha Desh. I know it's that place where the Ganga doesn't flow. And I know also that Nityananda Prabhu was, well, I didn't realize that was his birthplace. I thought that was where he preached. But actually, that's Ek Chakra Dham. That's where he took birth. And that's the village that he left. He left Ek Chakra Dham. One sannyasi came and said, give me your son. Said, give me your son. So Nityananda Prabhu's father and mother gave away their son. And therefore, out of a lamentation, the father passed away like Ramachandra, right? The father passed away, the mother passed away, and the entire village, out of lamentation, they left this world. And Nityananda Prabhu, he will imitate the pastimes of Lakshman. When Lakshmana was was struck, and Hanuman was supposed to bring the Sanjivini, right? So Lakshman, so Nityananda Prabhu pretended that he has fainted. And everybody was thinking, what happened? They didn't know how to, he was playing that role so well because he's Lakshman. So he fainted. And they saw him fainted and they didn't know how to wake him up. So the father, mother, everybody came out crying what has happened to Nitai. Until one boy remembered, there's somebody supposed to be Hanuman and bring Sanjivini. Right? That's the play. That's the play. They're supposed to bring Sanjivini. So the boy said, oh yeah, Sanjivini. So ran, okay, Hanuman came, and then immediately Nitai came back to consciousness. So everybody was relieved. So many pastimes are there. All right, so I will read this all over again because I'm missing Ek Chakra Dham. And my deities came from Ek Chakra Dham. That's why their name is Radha Bankim. My Guru Maharaj gave them the name Radha Bankim Rai because they come from Ek Chakra Dham, exactly where this temple is. Exactly, there is one person who was sculpting deities, so he's captured my deities so many years back, almost 30 years ago. Okay, so our time up. Look, we have 2 minutes more. Okay, Rashmi, you want to read? Are you going to read?
Yes, Mataji. असंख्य भक्तेरा करैला अवतार शेष अवतारी न हैला Vrajendra Kumar. Lord Krishna, Vrajendra Kumar, first caused countless devotees to appear, and at last he appeared himself. Prabhura Avirbhav Purve Yat Vaishnavagण Advaita Acharya Sthane Kare Nagaman. Before the appearance of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, devotees of Navadvip used to gather in the house of Advait Acharya. Gita Bhagavad kahe Acharya Gosani, Jnana Karma Nindi kare Bhakti Badai. In the meetings of the Vaishnavas, Advaitacharya used to recite Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, decrying the paths of philosophical speculation and fruitive activity, and establishing the super excellence of devotional service. सर्वशास्त्र कहे कृष्ण भक्तिर व्याख्यान ज्ञान योग तपो धर्म नाही माने आन. In all the revealed scriptures of Vedic culture, devotional service to Lord Krishna is explained throughout. Therefore, devotees of Lord Krishna do not recognize the processes of philosophical speculation, mystic yoga, unnecessary austerity, and so called religious rituals. They do not accept any process but devotional service. Our Krishna consciousness movement follows this principle. We do not recognize any method for spiritual realization other than Krishna consciousness devotional service. Sometimes we are criticized by groups following Gyan, Yog, Tapas, or Dharma. But fortunately, we are unable to make any compromises with them. We simply stand on the platform of devotional service and preach the same principles all over the world. तानरा संगे आनंद करे वैष्णवे रागण Krishna Katha, Krishna Puja, Nam Sankirtan. In the house of Advaitacharya, all the Vaishnavas took pleasure in always talking of Krishna, always worshipping Krishna, and always chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. On these principles only does the Krishna consciousness movement go on. We have no business to talk of Krishna, worship Krishna, and chant the Krishna Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. किंतु सर्वलोक देखी कृष्ण बहिर्मुख विषय निमग्न लोक देखी पाया दुख. But Sri Advaita Acharya Prabhu felt pained to see all the people without Krishna consciousness simply merging in material sense enjoyment. A bona fide devotee of Lord Krishna is always pained to see the fallen condition of the whole world. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say, there is no scarcity of anything within this world. The only scarcity is of Krishna consciousness. That is the vision of all pure devotees. Because of this lack of Krishna consciousness in human society, people are suffering terribly, being merged in an ocean of nescience and sense gratification. A devotee onlooker is very much aggrieved to see such a situation in the world. I continue, Mataji.
Yeah, Rakshita, are you able to read? Okay, Amrita Radhe, can you read?
Mataji, my baby is a bit too, I don't know, annoyed. Sorry.
Anupama, who can read? Anupama?
Look, text 68. लोकेर निस्तार हेतु कारेण चिंतन के माते ए सब लोकेर हयबे तारण. Seeing the condition of the world, he began to think seriously of how all these people could be delivered from the clutches of Maya. Text 69. Krishnavtari karena bhaktira vistara tabeta sakala lokera haibe nistara. Sri Advaitacharya Prabhu thought, if Krishna himself appears in order to distribute the cult of devotional service, then only will liberation be possible for all people. Just as a condemned person can be relieved by a special favor of the chief executive head, the president, or king, so the condemned people of this Kali can be delivered only by the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself or a person specially empowered for this purpose. Srila Advaitacharya Prabhu desired that the Supreme Personality of Godhead advent Himself to deliver the fallen souls of this age. Text 70. Krishna avtarite acharya pratigna kariya. Krishna puja kare tulsi ganga jaladiya. With this consideration, Advaita Acharya Prabhu, promising to cause Lord Krishna to descend, began to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, with tulsi leaves and water of the Ganges. Purport: Tulsi leaves and Ganges water with, if possible, a little pulp of sandalwood is sufficient paraphernalia to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Lord says in the Bhagavad Gita, Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachiti tad aham bhaktya upahritam asnami prayatatmana. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. Following this principle, Advait Prabhu pleased the Supreme Personality of Godhead with tulsi leaves and water of the Ganges. Text 71. Krishnera ahvana kare saghana hunkara. Hunkare akrishta hoile Brajendra Kumara. By loud cries, he invited Krishna to appear, and this repeated invitation attracted Lord Krishna to descend. Text 72. Jagannatha Mishra Patni Shachira Udare. Ashtakanya Krame Haila Janmi Janmi Mare. Before the birth of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 8 daughters took birth one after another from the womb of Shachimata, the wife of Jagannath Mishra. But just after their birth, they all died. Text 73. Apatya virahe mishreera dukhi hoila mana putra lagi aradhila vishnura charana. Jagannath Mishra was very unhappy at the death of his children one after another. Therefore, desiring a son, he worshipped the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu.
Yeah. Devahuti, you want to read?
Text 74. तबे पुत्र जन्मिला विश्वरूप नामे महागुणवान ताहा बलदेव धामे. Translation. After this, Jagannath Mishra got a son of the name Vishwarup, who was most powerful and highly qualified because he was an incarnation of Baladev. Purport. Vishwarup was the elder brother of Gaudahari, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When arrangements were being made for the marriage of Vishwarup, he took sannyas and left home. He took sannyas name of Shankararnya. In 1431, Shatabda era, AD 1509, he disappeared in Pandharpur in the district of Sholapur. As an incarnation of Sankarshan, he is both the ingredient and the immediate cause of the creation of this material world. He is non-different from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for the Amsa and the Amshi, or the part and the whole, are not different. As incarnation of Sankarshan, Vishwarup belongs to the quadruple manifestation of Chaturyuhu. In the god Chandrodaya, it is said that Vishwarup, after his so-called demise, remained mixed within Sri Nityananda Prabhu.
Let's read this again. Let's read this again. It's very complicated. How many of you know about Nityananda Prabhu? You read Nityananda Prabhu. How many of you know the pastimes of Nityananda Prabhu?
Whatever I read.
Mataji, today only we read that Nityananda Prabhu is from Gaur Ganodesh Deepika. It is said that he is what do you call? He is Sankarshan, Vishwaroop, and Baladev combined. And also, fortunately, I read Nityananda Bhagavat, and I'm really always trying to remember Lord Nityananda.
Right. So who else has read about Nityananda? We worship Gaur Nitai, right? So do we know who is Nitai? We worship Gaur Nitai.
Balaram. He is Balaram.
Yes, but his activities, his pastimes, do we know?
Okay.
I know this, that without the mercy of Nityanand Prabhu, you cannot get Gauranga. And if you need any knowledge about Gauranga, you have to approach Nityanand Prabhu.
Yeah.
He's a guru
His
tattva.
pastimes. All right, okay. So meaning that tonight you go and get your copy of Nityananda. All right, the books are available. So you go and get a copy of Nityananda, read, and so many lectures are there from different gurus about Nityananda. Every Nityananda, Nityananda Trayodashi, we read the pastimes of Nitai. We are worshippers of God Nitai, right? So we need to know who is Nitai. Like, it seemed that when I was speaking of Ekshapradhan, it looks like many of us didn't know that Nitai is from Ekshapradhan and his father left, had to give him away. Looks like, yeah, Amrita.
Mataji, a quick question. Yes. Sorry, my question is that my mother-in-law and I were discussing about the Bhava Bhakti stage. So in that, there is one point that a devotee attains the abode of, or is always hankering to go to the places where the Lord has. So now my question, in context from today's discussion, is that in Bhav Bhakti stage, a person is desirous to move to a place like Vrindavan, Mayapur, Ek Chakra, or is it that we will automatically be attracted to one particular dham of the Lord? Is that a complicated? Yeah. So when we attain Bhav Bhakti, will we be automatically attracted to one particular dham, like for example, Ek Chakra Dham, Vrindavan Dham, or we have to develop that desire towards the dham? That's my question.
Bhava is automatic. It's not that we have to, right? Bhava means you're emotionally attached to being in the places where Krishna is, like Vrindavan, Mayapur. Right there in Mayapur, you know how captivating Mayapur is, isn't it? It's like you become addicted because there is one, like Nitai, Gauranga, Panch Tattva, they make you theirs. Just like Vrindavan, right? Radharani, she accepts you. And you want to go, you just want to go. So, in the beginning, as sadhakas, so bhava is beyond sadhaka, right? There's sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti, prema bhakti. So sadhana bhakti is the stage of practice when we don't know about the holy dham. And because we have no attraction for any of the angas of bhakti, so therefore, like chanting or hearing the Bhagavatam or being in satsanga, right? Similarly, Mathuravas, meaning that what do? So we go and we spend 3 days in Vrindavan. That's what's recommended. But at the stage of bhava, this is where you want to be.
Oh, okay, Mataji. So it will spontaneously awaken in our hearts attraction to the places of pastimes of the Lord.
Yeah,
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
everybody knows when you get in that atmosphere of Vrindavan, you feel Krishna, right? You feel Krishna. I don't know what it is, you just feel Krishna. No, that was so mad Vrindavan, isn't it? With all those lakh and lakh of people in Vrindavan. But you don't know when you come out of it to say Vrindavan, right?
True.
Isn't it? Like just now, we was in Vrindavan, and actually I'm not been going out much because I don't have the energy. But one devotee came and I said, okay, take me. All right. So she came, so early morning we went. So we wanted to go to find, oh, actually, this girl sent me there, Russian. She wanted me to find one deity. And then Indradyumna Swami, I'm listening to his classes, and he just mentioned about Advaita Acharya, exactly, Advaita Vat. And then he said, Advaita Vat is in Vrindavan. And I said, so he said, if you go to Vrindavan, go to Advaita Vat. And I said, I'm in Vrindavan. So started to Google, where's Advaita Vat? So this girl came and said, let's find Advaita Vat. So she took me around. So we set out around 7 o'clock. And I told her I have to be back before 10 o'clock. You know? So we walked. We went in rickshaw, then we walked. You know what it means to walk in Vrindavan? We walked. The monkeys, the rickshaw, the cycle, the e-rickshaw, and then we came to this, and then Radha Vallabha. I said, I've never been to Radha Vallabha. All these years, I've only heard about Radha Vallabha. I've never entered. Oh my God, it was like Kumbh Mela. Nothing less than to enter that passage, So we managed, because she was with me, and I'm not able to, I'm actually not able to walk. So she was with me, so I managed to make my way through all those corridors. I couldn't figure out what was going on. And then she took me out, and finally we came to the temple and we saw the superb deity of Radha Vallabha. Radha Vallabha. And we came out, and we came back. Like I felt, I don't want to get back to the room. I want to be out where I'm coming from. Right? And yesterday, you know how I am. I'm always looking, YouTube, and pop up Radha Vallabha. Then this person is explaining on the whole story of Radha Vallabha. Now I understood where I have been. It's one of the temple. I couldn't figure out what it is when nobody's telling us. See, that's why I'm saying when we move around by ourselves in Braj without any guide, we really don't know. So Indradyumna Swami, through his YouTube channel, he sent me to Advaita Vat, and I saw Advaita Acharya. Oh my God, that was the perfection of my life. Because Advaita Acharya is in Shantipur on the way to Mayapur, and I always want to go So one time I went there just when it was appearance of Advaita Acharya, so I stopped and we had prasadam, the prasadam from Advaita Acharya Shantipur. So I was missing like anything Advaita Acharya, and he happened to be in Braj. His deity is there in Braj, so merciful, so merciful. And next to him, Advaita Acharya discovered the deity of Madan Mohan. Discovered the deity of Madan Mohan. This is another story. So Radha Vallabha, oh my God. So there I found out on YouTube what is this temple. Where I went through is actually one of the main temple like Govind Dev Ji, Madan and Radha Vallabha, this massive temple, because I'm going through a structure. I couldn't figure out where I'm going through. But it was one of this massive temple that was destroyed. So finally, where we entered, so that was like a new temple that was built for Radha Vallabha. So, if we are speaking of Dham Amrita Radhe, so in Nectar of Devotion, Prabhupada writes that even in non-devotee, he goes to Vrindavan, he feels the atmosphere of Vrindavan. Because Krishna has left his imprint in Braj. Krishna left this world, but he has left his imprint, to bring us back to him. I'm saying, my God, this Vrindavan, so dirty, so dingy, so this, and then you say, why are we so addicted to Vrindavan? Right? Treasure hunt. Literally, it's a treasure hunt. Tota Gopinath, we read about Tota Gopinath, Bankim Rai, and Radha Bankim Rai. Radha Bankim Rai, right? Did you know the story of Radha Bankim Rai?
Yes, Mataji.
Mm.
And also your Radha Bankim Rai, who stole my heart when I first saw them.
Yeah. And so this deity, so what's special about this deity? See, I forgot all the story that I was told, but when I'm reading it again, I'm remembering Subhad Maharaj telling us. Memory is very short, even though so many times I have been. But now it's recorded. This is Prabhupada's grace. He has recorded this history. What is special about Radha Bankim Rai?
Lord Nityananda installed him, and then at the end of his pastimes, Lord Nityananda merged into Bankim Rai.
Yes. Yes. That's what we read here. And Mahaprabhu, what happened to Mahaprabhu? Shri Chaitanya.
Tota Gopinath. He merged
Yes.
into Tota Gopinath.
And where's Tota Gopinath?
Sri Dhampuri.
Jagannath Puri. And what's special about this deity, Tota Gopinath?
He was worshipped by Gadadhar Pandit, and he, in order to accept a garland in the old age of Gadadhar Pandit, he bent down.
And therefore,
Sorry, and yeah, he's
and
bent,
how is he
and
bent? How is he bent?
like in a Bharatnatyam pose, to accept the garland which Gadadhar Pandit made, and to accept that garland, he bent down. And of course, Lord Chaitanya merged into Tota Gopinath. And also, Mahaprabhu only excavated Tota Gopinath from a tota. Tota means a small wood in that area. So Mahaprabhu had found it out, Gopinath, and therefore he's called Tota Gopinath. And he gave Gadadhar Pandit to worship Tota Gopinath. These few facts I remember.
And he's in a sitting posture. Tota Gopinath is in a sitting posture. He's not standing Krishna, he's sitting. And he's such a large deity and completely black. So, this is how we spend our time, knowing about Krishna and his pastimes. So if we don't know about all this, please make it a point to know. And how will you know? By hearing the classes every Gaur Punima, every Nityananda Trayodashi, every Advaita Acharya, throughout all the temples in ISKCON, every single temple in ISKCON without exception. Who's Madhavendra Puri? Who's Madhvacharya? If we haven't read every single festival, so we should have a calendar, Vaishnava calendar, and we should know every day what is the, whose appearance is it, which acharya, which deity, and we should just tune in to any ISKCON temple, and they're telling the stories. This is how I learned. See, Krishna can be known only from the present. Krishna has appeared as Panchtattva. Ramchandra came with his companions. Krishna came with his companions. And Gauranga came with his companions. So we must learn. We must learn who they are. All right, we went over time by 10 minutes. Hare Krishna.
Happy Ram Navami.
It's,
Happy Ram Navami. Yeah.
so at least we know Ramchandra. Everybody knows Ramchandra. Okay, we know Ramchandra. So now we should know Gauranga, Nitai, we should know Nitai.